You probably heard the expression that people act like crabs in a barrel. I want to show you through examples how I no longer have to even consider that, right? Like I no longer experience that, is what I mean. I no longer experience people in my life or people in the world or people in my community acting like crabs in a barrel. And it's because I left the barrel. I love the crabs. I love the crabs. I got out of the barrel. So today we're going to talk about what it's like to not live in the United States, what things are different in my life. I did a kind of like a part one of this video a couple of weeks ago where some other women came and shared their experiences. But today I'm going to share with you what my experiences are. I'm also going to talk a little bit about exactly how I left the United States, what that means, and how probably you can too, right? Surprise, surprise. Those are the things we're going to talk about today. Good morning. Hi, good morning, guys. My name is Stephanie Perry. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a house sitter. I'm the creator of House Sitter School, and I'm the co-creator of Exodus Summit. On this channel, I help Black women take sabbaticals and career breaks, right? Put work down for a while. I help Black women bop around the world as a nomad. I help Black women move abroad entirely. And I help Black women house sit for free accommodation, all while embracing ease. If these things sound good to you, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, please. I'll wait for you to do that. Thank you. And then turn on notifications, ring the notification bell, and you'll be notified when I post a new video or when I go live with my friends. Welcome. Hello, friends. Hello, Sabbatical Life. Hello, TJ. Hello, Valerina. Hello, Emefa. Hello, Mistress Forgiveness. Hello, Jackie and Igami and lovely Jewel and Loretta and LP and Kimberly. Shannon, how's everybody? I'm in Puerto Rico house sitting for the nicest dog. And she's just walking towards me now. So I don't know. Hopefully she doesn't have to go out because she doesn't have a doggy door. In Puerto Rico house sitting for the nicest dog. It's December 21st. Can you believe that? It's December 21st. And so it's a time when we start like reflecting on things, looking back, looking forward. And, you know, I've been walking around the house like, man, I feel so good. Why am I in such a good mood? I can't show her because she won't come over. Come here. Come. She won't come over. She won't get close enough. And so I'd have to pan and show you the whole house for you to see her. Come on, Chai, come here. For some reason, she'll come when you call her. She's very obedient, except when you're on the internet or when you have your phone in your hand. When I have my phone in my hand or when I'm live streaming, she won't come near me. She knows, she's like, I know what you're doing. I don't want to participate. You don't have my permission. So, you know, it's a time for reflection. Does she speak Spanish? No, they're American. Her family is from New Jersey. No, I do sometimes speak to her in Spanish. She seems to mildly understand. If I say venga, she knows what I'm saying, but she's not going to do it. Yeah, she likes her privacy, I think, is what it is. She's like, don't blast me on the internet. She went viral. We'll get on this on topic in just a second. She went viral. The previous house sitter created a TikTok about house sitting here in Puerto Rico and taking her to the beach and stuff. And that TikTok has 350,000 likes. Okay. So I think they probably talked to Chai about TikTok and how she's too young to be on the internet. Right. And, you know, if you don't give your permission, don't let people post you online without your permission. So now she's not into it. Hi, everybody. Okay, let's get on topic. So I've been thinking about, you know, I do a lot of reflecting anyway. I like to look forward. I like to look forward and I like to look back, I guess. And so I'm like, I've been feeling really good. And I'm like, well, why? And how do I bring this into the new year? And of course, one of the things that always jumps out at me is that I don't have people in my life that I have to play small for or hide myself from, the good or the bad. I have a really amazing surrounding community. I have the opposite of crabs in a barrel. And I think part of that is because people have always been good to me, but part of that is because I don't live in the United States and I'm away from the things that the barrel. I'm away from the environment that has created the need for people to act the way that they sometimes act, especially Black people. You know, I'm talking about Black people. I don't care about other people, what they're doing. I'm talking about especially Black people. So if you don't know what the crabs in a barrel thing even is, which you probably do, but people, you often, when I was a child, I would hear someone say, Black people act like crabs in a barrel. I am from Delaware. I know what crabs are, right? If you go and you buy a bushel of crabs, they come in the bushel basket, and a crab tries to get out, and another crab grabs onto that crab and pulls it down. Not trying to pull the crab down, but like, help me, help me, help me. If you're going out, I'm going out. But it's too strong, and the other crab can't pull everybody out at once, and then nobody gets out of the basket. Nobody gets out of the barrel. Nobody gets out of the bushel. They all end up in the pot and then in my belly. Okay. That is the crabs in a barrel thing. And there is, as a child, I thought that as a child, I thought that that was saying Black people, there's a problem with Black people. And I think that is what the expression is implying or stating outright, that there's a problem with Black people. But the problem is the barrel. The problem is the barrel, the environment. These crabs are plucked out of their environment and put into a place that is leading to their death. And so they're not acting like their usual selves. They're not acting like ocean crabs, swimming, walking at the bottom of the sea and eating up stuff and being happy. They're acting differently because they're in a barrel. The problem isn't the crabs. The problem is the barrel. I'm just waiting for you to agree with me, okay? And so when you get up out the barrel, you get to enjoy life with the other crabs. Okay? All right. All right. The environment creates the problem. If you get yourself up out of the barrel, you can have a different relationship with the crabs. I have always had a good relationship with crabs, literally and figuratively, but not everyone has. My astrological sign is Cancer. As you know, I was born on July 5. My sign is Cancer, and I'm from Delaware. I love crabs. I love crabs. I also really, really, really love Black women. Even more than I think I love Black women more than I love crabs, and that's saying a lot. When I was a child, my best friend's sister and brother wrote a song. She and her brother and sisters wrote a song. I love Jesus better than ice cream, and ice cream is very good, right? I love Black women better than crab cakes, and crab cakes are very good, right? So, but some people don't get an amazing experience with Black women or Black people because they only experience Black people who are inside of this environment, that toxic, that barrel that's on, that's, like, it's an instrument of death. That barrel is an instrument of death. And so is your country, by the way. And so I want to tell you, so I wrote down some things. Let me tell you. I wrote down 4 ways that I no longer experience crabs in a barrel mentality or activity or environments. Number 1, I no longer have a death grip on what is mine, right? I no longer feel like I need to hold on to things to keep them. I am able to live in abundance and experience abundance without having to hold on to whatever I think is mine with a death grip. Things that we hold on to that tightly are because we believe that there's not enough to go around. But leaving the United States has helped me understand that some things that we think are a zero-sum game are not. There are things that we think there's only a certain amount to go around, and it's not true. And being out of the United States, I've been able to get perspective on that and understand that there are things that are in abundance, and somebody getting them doesn't mean I don't get it. That's number one. Number two, I no longer, me and mine, no longer feel or act desperate. We no longer undergo desperate acts in order to gain acceptance or approval or safety. Okay, I'm gonna talk more about these. Number three, my oppressor is not in my face. Number four, I have real relationships and real friendships, not transactional relationships only, not work relationships only, but like real friendships. I get to see and meet people who I actually like them, and I'm not just thrown into friendship with them because we go to the same church, or we go to the same school, or we work together, right? And number five, I did write five. I can live my dream life instead of dreaming of my dream life. So those are five ways that I no longer experience crabs in a barrel mentality, no longer experience and no longer live that way, because I don't live in the United States. I'd like to talk to you about each one of these, and then I'd like to talk to you about you leaving the United States. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. There are 500 of you here, 497 of you here. If y'all would hit the like button on this video, please. And then share, not share. Well, you can share. You're welcome to share. But then also say good morning if you didn't say good morning yet. Okay? That's a thing that we do here. Say good morning if you haven't said good morning yet, or wherever. If it's not morning for you, you can say good afternoon or good evening. If you're already in Portugal or something, you say hello, greet me. And if you're watching the replay, hello, friends in the future. I hope it's awesome there. Say hi in the comments. Thank you. Okay, thank you. There you are. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much for that. Thanks, Jermaine. Thanks, Maxie. Thanks, Eleanor. Maxie Jones is a character on General Hospital that I really like. Hi, Maxie. Thank you, Nubia. Thank you very much. All right, so I don't know if any of these need a whole lot of explanation, but I'm going to take the opportunity to explain and expound and talk, okay? Number one, the zero-sum game thing is a real perspective change that happened once I left the United States. I left the US September of 2015 for 1 year and have not lived in the US since, well, except for a 3-month stretch. Then in 2016, late 2016, early 2017, I was back for 3 months. And then during early COVID times, March, April, May of 2020, I was there. And then I left again in July. But except for those times, I haven't lived in the US. I've just visited, right? I just visited back in October. And I guess I'm in the US still. I visited October and November. Now I'm in Puerto Rico in December. I'm still, listen, frankly, I'm not exactly clear on if I'm in the US or not. In Puerto Rico, you didn't need a passport to get here, but you can't watch like all the platforms, all the TV platforms are like, you're out of the US. You can't watch this. So am I in the US or not, right? Like, make up your mind. I have given up American football, but I did want to watch some football on Thanksgiving. No, not Thanksgiving. I guess I watched football on Thanksgiving because I was in California. And then I got here, and the next Sunday I was like, well, I guess I'll watch some football. And they were like, no, you can't watch football. You're not in America. I'm like, what? Am I in the United States or not? Okay. But I'm house sitting here through the end of the month. Okay, on track. Things we believe are a zero-sum game that I have learned are not zero-sum games, right? The idea of zero-sum game is that there's only, if somebody gets it, you don't get it. There's not enough. There's not an abundance. There is a finite amount, a fixed amount, right? A zero-sum. Like football is a zero-sum game. Somebody wins, somebody loses, or they both tie. You can't both win. Zero-sum game. Things I've learned are not zero-sum games. Money is not a zero-sum game. As a person who talks a lot about money, how much money I used to make, how much money I now make, as a person who charges money for things, right? Puts price tags on my products and services, I see from my out of the US eyes how many people view money as a zero-sum game. I mean, I guess technically there is a finite amount of money, but that amount of money is abundant. There's an abundance of money. Now, some people are hoarding it. I'm not saying that there are not people hoarding money, okay? There are multi billionaires. People are hoarding money, but money is not a zero-sum game. Just because I make some money doesn't mean you lose some money. Just because somebody has some money doesn't mean you have to not have some money. Money is not a zero-sum game, and operating in abundance, as we do in this community, has really is anti-crabs in a barrel. You may have heard that this community has a sabbatical fund where we send Black women on sabbatical, where we give them money and pay them to not work. Maybe you know that, maybe you don't. The Vacarian Sabbatical Fund pays women to not work. Last year, we paid Maisha Francis. This year, we paid Alicia Renice, and we finished paying her. All right, we have sent her the last payment. So she now has the full amount. I decided early on that $25,000 was an amount of money where a woman cannot work for months and months and months and months. A Black woman cannot work for months and months if we give her $25,000. And we decided to start giving that amount of money to Black women. And just this week, we finished our money payment. We wire transferred the last payment to Alicia. That is proof, evidence that money, it's not a zero-sum game. Money is not a zero-sum game. It's an amazing thing that this community does. I'm sorry, I know my thing is wobbly. My laptop is sitting on top of a thing that's not the most stable, but so I'm sorry. I hope the wobbly motion isn't annoying you. But money is not a zero-sum game. Thank you very much. If you're part of my Patreon community, or if you've bought any merch, and if you've given any super chats or super money here, then you have contributed. You paid a Black woman to take a sabbatical. You contributed to her well-being, her wellness, which is a funny word that always makes me laugh. You did that. So thank you. We did it together. We did it together. Thank you very much for that. Evidence that crabs in a barrel is not the way that Black people operate when we're out of the barrel. When we're not in a barrel, we are not crabs in a barrel. We're happy crabs, okay? Money is not a zero-sum game. I love it too, Erica. It makes me feel so good, right? So maybe that's part of the reason why I'm like, why do I always feel so good in December? Because, for the last 2 years, we have given a good chunk of change to Black women in December. The last payment comes out of the account. Feels really good. It feels really amazing. The other things that we think we act as though they are zero-sum games that are not. Love is not a zero-sum game. Seeing someone get loved on, seeing someone receive love does not mean your chances are lower. Love is not a zero, but we do act like it. And I don't mean we as in Black women. I mean we as in humans, Americans at least, right? People act like these things are zero-sum games when they're not. Happiness is not a zero-sum game, right? Seeing me here talking about, oh, I feel so great, does not mean you can't also feel so great. Being treated with respect, being treated with dignity is not a zero-sum game. Although something like Black excellence kind of teaches us that it's a zero-sum game, right? So-and-so is a doctor or lawyer or professor, and so-and-so is worthy of respect. So-and-so is Black excellence, and that means you're not Black excellence, right? There are things that have taught us all along, all our lives to that if somebody wins, we lose. And I think Black excellence is one of the culprits. Black excellence has taught us if somebody wins, somebody's got to lose. That's why I don't care. One of the many reasons I don't care for Black excellence. Thank you. Not I don't care for it. I hate it. I hate it. But these things are not, they're in abundance. These things are in abundance if we say so, if we make them in abundance, if we operate as though they're in abundance. And so that's a thing that being out of the United States has introduced me to. Being out of the United States has shown me, has given me the ability to look back at the country like an astronaut who is up in an international space station is looking at the planet, right? Leaving the country gives you a chance to look back at the country with some perspective. They'd be like, that's all it is? It's a blue marble? That's the whole world? That being able to look back at the country with some perspective has shown me some of this stuff. Okay. All right. So that's it. Number one, death grip. I no longer have a death grip on what's mine. Sharing and giving are how we're supposed to live. Abundance is the natural order of things. If something is not in abundance, it's because maybe somebody's hoarding it, but it's not because abundance is not the natural order. Natural abundance is the way. Wait. The screen is moving. Hi, chat. Y'all are excited today? Virgin, that's capitalism, the mentality of scarcity. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we shouldn't blame the crabs in the barrel for forces of capitalism acting on them. The forces of capitalism that act on us and the forces of white supremacist ideologies and the forces of all of, right? We can't blame, we used to blame the crabs for reacting to these things. It's bigger than the crabs. It's not the crab's fault. Yeah, America, the dream merchant. America is the bucket. Okay. I will only refer to USA as divided states of bucket from henceforth. That's fun. It's a bucket. Okay. It's a bushel basket. It's a barrel. We're not supposed to live like that. And maybe that's why we act sometimes, some people act in a way that's not right. It's the bucket. It's the barrel. It's the basket. It's the environment. It's the country. It's not the crabs. It's not the crabs. Okay. All right. Number two way that I no longer experience this, the number two thing that I no longer experience is the need for acceptance or approval, the need to undergo desperate acts to feel safe. I know you think I'm about to talk about Black excellence again, but I think I've been clear on Black excellence. Black excellence is that, right? Let's do some things. Let's sacrifice what you want for yourself to do what you can do to separate yourself as a Black person. I don't know if I said that right. I haven't had coffee. But like anyway, Black excellence is a way, but it's not the only thing I mean when I wrote that down, right? When I wrote down that we no longer have to take desperate acts to gain acceptance or approval or safety from people who don't accept or don't approve or won't treat us well. I don't only mean Black excellence. I saw a video this week from someone whose channel I have enjoyed named Karen Hunter. Inside of that video, she said, now we need Black people to move to North Dakota, South Dakota, and Utah so that we can gain those Senate seats. And I said to myself, it took everything in me to not type any comment in the video, which is a thing you can do. You can feel negative feelings about something and not express them on that video. Okay. It took everything in me not to express my opinions on her video. But no, let Black people rest. Let Black people live. Let black people enjoy their lives. Why would you subject black people to those white people? It always makes me wonder a few different things. First of all, whenever people say something about like living in spaces with white people, I'm like, what white people do you know? Where did you grow up? I grew up in Delaware and Ohio. And as a younger woman, I lived in Texas when I was in the Army. I went to college in Atlanta, as you know, for 1 year, which started the whole beef. What white people do you know that you would say to a black person you liked and cared about, you should live with them? You should they should be your neighbors. You should spend your time in their community. What white people do you know? Get somebody else to do it. Get nobody else to do it. Girl, opt out. It's okay to opt out. It's okay to say, these white people are bad. I'm not dealing with them. But like, that was a real argument inside of the video. Now, we got to get together. We got to gear up. We got to get black people to these states so that we can get these Senate seats. Oh, come here. Hi, do you want to be on YouTube? Come here, Chai. You want to be on YouTube? Oh, you got to get a little closer. You got to get a little closer. Y'all see Chai? Hi, Chai. Hi, Chai. Say hi to YouTube. Okay. Her tail's wagging. You feel good? Tail's mildly wagging. Okay, thank you. Give me a kiss. Thank you kindly. That's Chai, my client. Chai, my house sitting client. Good girl. Now, she may need me to open the door. Do you want me to open the door? I tried to get her to go out just a second ago. She's really patient, but when she comes over, she's like, she needs me. Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second. So that's what I'm going to say. Why don't you in the chat tell me where you live that there are white. Oh, no, she sat down. Where do you live that there are white people that you think black people should live around? In those places where people are so spread out, you are not safe. Then people are armed. Then people have the police and the sheriff and everybody on their side. Anything can happen. Why? What person who loves black people wants black people to sacrifice and martyr themselves? Not me. Well, not me. The answer is not me. Okay, not here. In case I haven't been clear. How do you love black people and then say some stuff like that? For the sake of a Democratic Party. Who wants to sacrifice black people for the Democratic Party? Get a grip. Leave the country. This is anybody who would think like that. Everybody who would think like that. Get out of the country. It's rotted your brain. There's something happening in you. You're not thinking clearly. You are losing the very empathy that is our humanity. You're losing empathy for people that is what makes us human. When you tell people to sacrifice their lives for some outside entity that does not give a damn about them, you are no longer operating in empathy and love. That's some BS. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And I want to talk about the message, but I also don't want to bring any more attention to that because some people will agree with her. Some people will mobilize. You know, if black women can do anything, we can mobilize. Somebody will mobilize. And I hate it. It upsets me to no end. So if you see a video this week, more specifically calling out that line of thinking, you know what it is. Or next week, you know what it is. Because it upset me. Okay, it upset me deep down in my spirit. How do you love black people and then subject them to these white people? And like, serious question, where do you live that you would be like, yeah, y'all be okay? Even in Delaware, I lived in Wilmington, Delaware, which is a black city. Even in Wilmington, Delaware, I did not know white people that I would be like, yeah, y'all can live here. Y'all live here with them. Y'all should move here and be with them. Definitely not in Ohio, which is what radicalized me. I lived in Ohio from ages 9 to 17, and that was enough. That was enough. And not in Texas. Like, where do you live? Where do you live that you're like, okay, there's white people here only, or mostly. Let's get a whole bunch of black people. We'll be safe. We'll live. We'll survive. No, you won't. They will, if nothing else, they'll harass the life out of you, right? Harass you until you want to go. My own coach, Rachel Rogers, bought a ranch in North Carolina. She sold that bad boy, left, pulled her family up out of there, right? The white people harassed her until she was like, forget it. The ranch was nice, but listen, me and my children are not going to live like that. She made a video about it. I'm not telling anything that she hasn't talked about. She made a video about it on her channel. I'm going to figure out how to get this out of my face and staying still. Like every time I move, it moves. That idea of sacrificing yourself, that's the barrel. That idea of doing so much for your own, for the sake of safety among people who you know mean you harm, that's a barrel. That's barrel mentality. That's crabs in a barrel, absolutely. But also the idea of like trying to gain their acceptance and their approval and having them see you as good, as one of the good ones, that's crabs in a barrel. When I was a child, okay, listen, relax. I am one person, but here's my opinion on something that's going to upset someone. When I was a child, Black people sounded like Black people. But now I can't remember the last Black man that I had a conversation, not except from like in my family, but the last like stranger Black man I had a conversation with who sounded like a Black man. Nowadays, or in the like Black men in their 30s and 20s, they all talk like it, right? Like, what is that? I don't care what your voice sounds like. You're still not one of them. I went to, no, listen, yeah, I'm like, these younger Black dudes, they're really, 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 really trying hard to sound a way. And there's no benefit except for gaining white people's approval. And I'm like, what? There's no code switching today. I don't think, right? Nowadays, either you talk one way or you talk another way. But the voices of younger Black men is so upsetting to me. A lot of things are upsetting. Like, when did y'all start talking like that? When did that happen? Maybe when I was younger, people talk like that at work, but not in the family, not here. Why are you talking like that here? Stop. It's a thing. Okay, so some of you seem to be reacting as if you've heard it. Okay. I knew it wasn't just me. I'm like, this is a pretty new thing, but it's not going to work. Crabs in a barrel, right? That is some barrel mentality. So Gen X, I'm Gen X. So Gen X, some Gen Xers did switch back and forth. But now the millennials, the Gen Z, they're letting AAVE die out. First of all, they're gonna let African American vernacular English die out. Ain't gonna be no more Ebonics, right? They can't do it. They can't do it. They can't do it. Ain't gonna be no more. But not only are they letting it die out, but they're adopting such a strange sound, like a exaggerated white is not the right word. Exaggerated sound of the soulless robots that they're trying to gain acceptance from. It's gone. Okay, I'm glad. Listen, some of you, I know it wasn't just me. I know I'm not the only one. Cat, under 40. Listen to him. You don't have to, but listen to him under 40. It's like, what happened? What, why? And what are you gaining from this? What are you gaining from that? Okay, anyway, number 2 thing that I no longer experience as a person who's left the country is I no longer participate in acts of desperation designed to gain acceptance, approval, safety. I don't do that. I don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. And it's because I'm not in the barrel. Pretty simple. Those of us, we're not in the barrel. We don't do that. But that there's some things happening. There's some changes happening. And that's one of the changes. Ross says societal pressure. Yeah, but yeah. But what are you gaining? Normally, societal pressure to do something includes inclusion in that society. You reject this and you get included here, but they're not. Are they being included? I don't think so. Maybe they are, and I just don't know it. So, okay, that was point number 2. Yes, so we've had, yes, an FDM. We've always had those societal pressures. It's why at work, I did when I worked as a credit analyst on the phone, you would not know who you were talking to, right? I used my real name. I sat next to a woman with a very Black name, and she called herself Karen on the phone. And you listen, we could trick anybody. Nobody would know who we were talking to on the phone. But we didn't adopt that as our personality. That was we worked 10-hour shifts. That was from 10 to, what do we work, 10 to 8 with an hour lunch? What is that, 10 to 7? That was from 10 to 7. And then that was it. And then when I can't say her name because she has a very, very unique name that there's probably only one in the world. Okay. And when me and her went out afterwards, went to her house or my house or out to eat, we did not sound like that. But today, the men anyway, I don't notice that in women. I don't notice it in women and girls. But Black men have like given up. Yeah, they've given up, I guess. Okay, number 3 thing that since I've left the United States, I no longer have to deal with when having this crabs in a barrel mentality is my oppressor is not in my face. I do not have to deal with American white people. It's one of the reasons that a couple of the places that I really like going to, I don't want to move to because there happen to be a lot of American white people there as well. I don't have to deal with American white people. Even inside of Costa Rica, right? For the last 3 years, I've spent most of the year in Costa Rica. Even in Costa Rica, I'm not in the places with white people. American white people love Costa Rica, okay? But they're at the beaches. They're up in the volcano in the Arnal area. I'm in San Jose. Tourists and visitors don't like San Jose. So I don't see American white people, hardly ever. Let me think about it. Have I had any experience in San Jose where I'm like, here they are? I can't think of any experience I've had in San Jose, Costa Rica. Oh, once at the market. Shayla took us to the market and white women were trying to be our friends. They seemed perfectly fine. They didn't seem, like terrible people outwardly, right? But none of us really were actively engaging her. I turned my back, right, to white women. They were happy to see American people, happy to hear English, right? It's hard to be in a place and like everything is hard work, including understanding the language is hard work. So they were like really relieved. They seemed really happy to hear some Americans speaking English. Because Shayla's not American, but she speaks English. And Kat wasn't with us. Anyway, she was happy. They were happy to hear that. Oh, hi, where are you guys from? None of us was none of us was like, let's carry a conversation on with these women. We all scattered. She might follow one of us, but she can't follow everybody. So not having people in your face is a really nice relief, and I recommend it. It's okay if you move abroad to a place and you move to a place where there are American white people there as well, because some of the places that we want to move to, they want to move to as well. You can still be in places where you don't have to be around them and deal with them. Now, some of you like white people and you have white friends, then you're going to be okay. That's not how I live my life. I was radicalized in Westerville and Gahanna, Ohio. That's not how I'm living my life. But even if you're in a place, even if I lived in Arenal, in the place, part of Costa Rica that white people love to move to, right? You can still live your life without having them all around. And they don't have a say. They can't weaponize their whiteness against you in other places the way that they're used to in the United States. They might call the cops on people making noise in Mexico. White people, every now and then, they try to call the police on white people, on the Mexican people making noise, and the police are like, we don't do that here. Okay? Yeah. Am I being hilarious? You know, I think I'm hilarious, but I don't feel like I said anything hilarious. What did I say that was so hilarious? Oh, some of you have. So listen, listen, sometimes when people talk to me, they act like they have to explain things. You don't, your life is your life, and you don't have to explain anything to me, right? You have white family members or you have white friends, live your life. Choose your life. You didn't live you didn't live with me, and you didn't grow up with me. We don't have the same experiences. So we're not going to do this. We're not going to have the same outcomes. Live your life. Okay. But that's the thing. White people love to weaponize their whiteness against Black people. It's a thing that they know how to do, and they learn it very early. They learn it very young. And then they go other places and they realize, oh, this doesn't work here. It might take them a while to realize it, but they try. Okay. All right. Yvonne's recommending is this a documentary, Talking Black in America? So I feel like, so when people talk about Black American people, they speak about us as if we don't have a culture. Meanwhile, they have leached everything out of our culture, right? They want to talk like us. They want to play our music. They want to church like we church. They want to do all the things that we do and then say we don't have a culture. We are the world's trendsetter, pace setter. We are the world's dominant culture. And we're a very small percentage of people, even inside of this country. Black American people make a small percentage up of the country. But when you go all over the world, you hear our music, you hear people talking like we talk, you see people trying to look like we look worldwide. I am very much a Black American person. I am very Black. I'm also very American. And very Black American. And I love us. I love us, and I appreciate our culture, including African American vernacular English. It's a thing. It's a thing that a lot of Black people, especially in my age group, don't recognize as its own thing, its own language, until you hear other people trying to adapt it, adopt it, steal it, and you're like, oh. We have our own language. It is our own thing. And it's a thing that I hope we keep alive. I hope it's a thing that we keep alive. But according to who are these, the Gen A and the Gen Z, they can't do it. Black Gen A and Gen Z already cannot speak AAVE. They speak what they call Gen Z speak, which is stealing some Black stuff and then having it not make any sense in our world, and just making it mean something totally different. So it's gonna die out. I think it's gonna die out. It's upsetting. It's sad. It's a life, right? That's why I said AAVE, or what we would call Ebonics. When I was a kid, it was called Ebonics. Okay, it's African American Vernacular English, and they can't do it. They can't do it well. They can't do it right. I mean, the white people. White people can't do it, but also young Black people can't do it anymore. It's we've lost the recipes. Back when I used to watch The Wire, which I loved and have watched probably 5, 6 times all the way through. When I used to watch The Wire, I'd be like, they never got B right. Who you be? They always be like, who you be? I'm like, that's not right. And I was like, what? Number one, why don't the actors just say it right? Even if the white writers can't write it right. Why don't the Black actors say it right? And then I was like, oh, wait, no. Actually, they're right to not fix it, right? Let the white people get it wrong. Let it be evident that there are white writers in this writer's room, not Black people in the writer's room. And don't fix it. Keep it the way they wrote it. Let the white people get it totally wrong. It was clear every time. I'd be like, it pulled me out like almost every episode. There was some sentence where I'm like, come on. Why didn't you just fix it? Poor Chris, the killer, whoever wrote his stuff. It was awful. Anyway, Black African American Vernacular English, it's dying out. Okay, that's not the subject of this conversation. Yeah, I'm Black. Like, so Yvonne, that's why I put it on the screen, because I thank you for that. What I'm saying is thank you for that. And she's saying, remember, it's not singular, right? It's regional. It's dialectical. Yeah, thank you. That's why I put it on the screen. Thank you for sharing that with us. We'll look for it. Is it a documentary? We'll look for it. I just finished the YouTube Success 5-Day Challenge this week, and one of the women inside of the challenge is an archivist who talks about Black people archiving and holding on to and preserving culturally important and family important items. If I was a more prepared person, maybe let me see how long it would take me to find that video. If I go to my history, is it easier to go inside of the challenge or easier to go to my history? Let me look in the challenge. Give me just a second. I'm going to share that video with you. I don't usually share videos from people inside of the challenge right away. So don't be offended if I've never shared your video in the challenge. But it's coming up, so I do want to share it. Miranda, here it is, Miranda Mills, Combating Erasure. Black people taking control of our own history through archiving. I'm going to pull up her. It's a really nice, she's got a full podcast on this larger topic. So this might be why it was so fresh in my mind today. Combating Erasure. So then I go back and find StreamYard somewhere. StreamYard, where are you? Here. Exit. Here. Okay, Combating Erasure. Okay, this is Miranda's video / podcast episode. That's right. And I see some comments in here. It's not the same as not. Yeah, because some women, if Black people in the US with Caribbean roots have a different thing, right? I didn't mean to say there's one thing, but I do mean to say it's dying out. Whatever it is, it's dying out. Okay, here's the link to Combating Erasure. All right. Okay, am I in the chat? Am I caught up? Essence said Jesse Jackson did not do his homework. We're a lost tribe. What do you mean? I'm missing something. Jesse Jackson was he involved in? I don't understand. Explain it to me. All right. Yes. Okay. So back to my oppressor is not in my face. I don't have white people in my face after leaving the United States. And I want to say one more time, even if you go to a place where white American people love to go, you can still not have to see them, right? They're in certain neighborhoods. They're only going to stick to a couple of neighborhoods in any city that is not a white city, right? They're only going to be in a couple neighborhoods. They're not going to feel safe out in the city. They're only going to feel safe in certain places. So it's really easy to avoid them, except for, I'll say, like the Lake Chapala area. They've hit the tipping point in Lake Chapala, Mexico, where it's not possible to avoid them there. But in other places, you can. You can. All right. But I don't get it. More. Tell me more. I don't get it. Okay. Maybe it's not for me to get. Okay. Number 4. This is 4. Number 4, since I left America, I have real friendships. Some of this is a matter of having more free time. And some of this, oh, Jesse Jackson was a precursor of calling us African American instead of Black. Oh, okay. I use both. Black is easier. Shorter. Oh, Essence says it's a secret. I can't say too much. Okay, okay. When we talk in person, if we talk in person, explain it to me, please. Okay. Number 4, I have real friendships. Some of this is a matter of me having more free time, right? When I worked, especially when I worked night shift, I just didn't have time to nurture real friendships, even if some of the coworkers that I had were people that I would have had real friendships with, even if we didn't work together, right? We just didn't have time to be friends. It's okay. It's okay to me that your friends are people who you went to school with or went to worked with or whatever, went to church with, or family members, right? It's okay if that's how your friends came to be. Okay. But I'm really glad to have friends who none of those things are the case. We're just friends because we like each other, right? We're just friends because we get along. We weren't thrown together and had to make a friendship out of it. We're just friends because I recognize a spark in her. I recognize something in her. And I'm like, I want to be friends with her. I want to spend time with her. I want to travel with her. I want to kiki and do dumb stuff with her. Rashida and I this week. Rashida is so upset about the Luigi worship, how especially white women on the internet, or women on the internet in general, are lusting after Luigi, the Luigi the assassin. She's so upset by it. And I really enjoyed talking and texting with her about that this week. I am not upset by it because it's funny. I think it's funny. She's upset that people are like lusting after that young man. And it's really funny to have that conversation with her and hear her upset about it. It's really nice to have friends where you're friends because you like each other. You're friends because you have something in common. Where you're friends because, where you're friends because you're friends. And not just because like y'all work together and so, you got to make it happen. Joyful one, I'm upset about it too. If he was Black, yes, I know. That's her. It's part of her argument as well. I understand that. But I have been cackling. She sent me a post from somewhere where they had a picture of him in the handcuffs, walking down the street surrounded by the police. And then they compared it to the painting of Jesus and the disciples walking together. She is upset. That's stupid. It's the dumbest thing. Yes, it's the dumbest thing. I have enjoyed the few minutes this week that we have spent cackling about this thing. It's wonderful to have friends who are just your friends, not friends because y'all got thrown together, but friends because something in you and something in her really gets along. Y'all vibe. It's nice to have friends that you really like. Sometimes some people can go a lifetime, not a lifetime. That's a lot. But people can go for decades in their lives without having friends who really are on their side, having friends who really have their point of view. And then inside of the friendship, you always have to be kind of closed off, or you can never fully be yourself. So it's nice to not have that. It's real nice to have friends who are really your friends and not just people that you have to spend time with because you work together, because you go to church together, because you went to school together, but you can never be you. Yeah. That's a thing that, yeah, it's really nice. And so that's a thing that leaving the US has given me. Part of it, like I said, part of it is leaving the US, and part of it is just having a more free time, right? Having more free time. This week I hosted the YouTube Success Challenge, and the Exodus ASAP membership. We had some activities happening in there. Rashida's coaching session was this week, and still we had time to cackle about dumbness. Right? Friendships are crucial. Friendships are critical. So a thing that Rashida taught me, or it said, expressed in words to me that I'd never heard expressed before, was that it's important for women to decenter romantic partnerships and center friendships, because the friendships are the things that are going to hold you on, that are going to sustain you, that are going to feed you, support you, help you live. Yeah, so it's been really nice to have real friends. It's really nice. Some of my friends are from the before times, right? But we didn't get to have these kinds of friendships. Y'all know Katrina. Y'all know Katrina, right? Katrina and I have known each other forever and ever. 2002, 2001, I guess. 2001 or 2002, we met. We've known each other for a long time, but we didn't have this friendship then. Right now we got free time, child. She got free time. Now we got free time, and we get to be our full selves inside of that friendship. It's really nice. The support and the love and the care that we get from friendships, from relationships, is so important that we have to focus and spend time, nurture it, right? I've got a friend Jewel and Roshni, right? I've got friends who I'll be like, do you want to spend a week in this house in whatever country for a while? And they'll be like, yeah, I'm coming, right? And they're just people who I reached out to and was like, I like you. Want to be friends? I don't know that I ever recruited a friend before, because I am the introvert in most of my friendships. Tawana, who I've talked about before in another video, she recruited me, but she was the extrovert. Most of my friendships, they recruited me. So this is a whole new thing. I'm reading and talking at the same time. This is a whole new thing, like seeing somebody present themselves out into the world as themselves and saying, I like her. I want to be friends with her. And being friends with her, it's been really nice. I'm glad to have that. And it's not a thing I would have had, right? 50-year-old Stephanie, who stayed at her job in the pharmacy and stayed in the United States, would not have these friendships and these relationships. And I would be missing out on so much. Some things you don't know we are missing them until you have them. And I think real friendships is that. Do I have any white friends? Not friends. I have white people that so like, I don't know, maybe you know that Elizabeth Gilbert is a white woman that I would be friends with. I met her, I talked to her, and I've watched her on the internet. And I'm like, there's a lot of white American people have no soul. Like, I mean, seriously, no soul. But she has a soul. So I would be friends with her. I don't have white friends. I have white people I have white people who I still keep in touch with some. What do we call that? Not acquaintances. To me, acquaintances is too cool, too cold. Not acquaintances, but there are white people who keep in touch with me some. Right. Andy, who I worked with, and she had a pool, and she used to invite us over to her house all the time for pool parties. Every time I'm live on Instagram, she's like, hey, right. Hey. There are white women and white people who I have had. There's something between acquaintances and friendship, right? Yeah. It's just really, really difficult to trust, knowing what we know about white people and white voters in particular. It's really hard to trust and it would be really hard for me to have a real friendship with a white American person. Exceptions have been in my life, right? in my life, exceptions have usually been people who either weren't from the US, right? Weren't born there, or their parents weren't born there. There's a different white American person whose parents were, or parents or grandparents weren't born there. They tend to be a little different. So like, I had a work husband. I really, really liked him. We were real friends, even though we worked together. We were work friends. We were actually real friends. But turns out 3 of his 4 grandparents were not born in the US, right? There was a different type of white person. There are different white people. So that's my answer to that. Hi. What did Yvonne say that we all agree with? I can't see everything. Struggle to be friends with white people. Yeah, relationships can. I agree with this. That's how I feel too, Yvonne. They can, the French, that relationship can only go so far. Every now and then I'll hear a Black woman refer to white women in general as white sisters, not an individual, right? Because like I said, I would be friends with Elizabeth Gilbert, right? I don't mean having individual white friends, but sometimes Black women will be like, and our white and brown sisters. And I'm like, what white people do you know? That's a serious question I have for people often. What white people do you know? Because like, I know East Coast white people. I know down South white people. I know Midwest white people. What white people do you know that you would refer to them as, in the category of them, as sisters? I don't know. If you're in a place right now in your life where you have no deep friendships that you're nurturing and building, I hope that that's a thing that we can put on your list to prioritize in 2025. So you can start today, right? And I just literally, I've recruited friends. Do you want to be my friend? For me, recruiting friends has often been so-and-so. Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm going to, maybe we've had 1 or 2 conversations on the internet at some point. But listen, I'm going to be in such and such a place and I have an extra bedroom. Do you want to come? That might be extreme for some of you, but that's how I recruited friends. I think the first time, Jewel, and I met, when did we meet in the real world for the first time? I don't remember the first time meeting Jewel in the real world, but I think the first time we met was in Panama. But she didn't stay with me. She was in her own, I was in a hotel and she was in a place. And I was like, I'm going to Panama. Do you want to come to Panama? I think that's the first time we met in the real world. And then of course we met in Charlotte. And I think so, right? Part of being out of the barrel is knowing that things that are important to me are important to me, and I can prioritize them, and that includes friendships. I don't have to sacrifice my friendships and my happiness and my whatever for whatever the barrel says I'm supposed to prioritize. The barrel says you're supposed to prioritize making money. Maybe the barrel is telling you you're supposed to prioritize the Democratic Party, right? Making sure the Democratic Party recovers. Maybe the barrel is telling you you're supposed to prioritize your church or whatever. I'm not in the barrel, so I prioritize what I want. And I've chosen friendships. I'm still never going to, I'm me, I'm Stephanie. I'm a hermit. I'm a loner. I'm a person who really, really enjoys alone time. And so the friendships that I have and the friends that I've made and nurtured, they understand that. They don't expect to hear from me every day. Don't expect to hear from me all the time. But that's how I've made that change, right? Hey, do you want to be almost literally, hey, do you want to be friends? We did that video with Francis a while ago. And I was like, you just say so-and-so, hi, we're friends now. So she was like, Diamond, you are my friend. Yeah, you just prioritize the things that are important to you. And I've decided that that's a thing that's important to me. It's been really great. It's been really great. You know? Hi, Francis. Do you remember Francis? Like, Diamond, you are my friend. Yeah, but they're friends. Wait. I saw a picture recently of you with who? I saw a picture recently of you with somebody. right? It's really nice to make friends with people who you just see something and you want to be their friend, not like I have to be their friend. I've said that 8 times, but it's really, really nice and it's worth trying. It's worth putting effort into. Sometimes you just need to be, first, you need to be in the places where people like you are. The Exodus Summit community is one of those places, right? Where people like you are. You're not going to run into people who are telling you, girl, rest when you're dead. That's not the Exodus Summit community. Or girl, respectability politics is the way, or whatever. You're not going to run into that group of people inside of the Exodus Summit community. And so that's a place that might be a starting point for some of you to make friends. You know, we're getting together in Vietnam very soon. Copy, paste. We're getting together in Vietnam very soon. And probably in somewhere in Europe, sometime after Exodus Summit, early, mid-October, somewhere, sometime, probably mid-October, we'll get together again. So getting inside of that community and then going to meetups, going to events is a way to find your friend. I went to the Temecula, California meetup not too long ago. And there were two women at the table. And I'm like, I'm so glad they're meeting. I had just met both of them, but I'm so glad they're meeting and talking because I think these are the same woman. Like, I mean that in a good way. When I look at these two women, I see the same person. So I'm so glad that they are talking and meeting because they are really going to like each other. They're really going to be friends. I really like to see that happen inside of the Exodus Summit community. So if you're a Black woman, you're welcome to join us. If you're interested, if this conversation has been interesting to you, you're going to enjoy the women inside of the Exodus Summit community. And they do meetups all the time. Rashida and I are not at every meetup. We're not at most of the meetups, right? But it is a place where you'll meet women who you can be like, Diamond, you are my friend. And they'll be like, okay, that's how it is. That's how it works. That's how it works. All right. I'm just scrolling through the chat real quick. Hi, Lola. Welcome. All right. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through the chat, but I don't read all that fast. Okay. I just feel like I run through things really quickly and I want to make sure I'm not ignoring anything that's happening in the chat. All right. So friendships is a thing that a way that my life looks differently now that I'm out of that barrel that is the United States. And number 5, I can live my dream life instead of just dreaming about my dream life. That's what leaving the United States has done for me. It's given me an opportunity to dream up a dream life and then make progress towards that dream life and now live that dream life. Right? Instead of having it always stay a dream. I think something that the United States does is it convinces us that our dreams are frivolous and that they're supposed to stay in the dream category. But I don't think that's true. I think our dreams are supposed to become our realities. I think the dreams are planted in us or given to us or something so that we can live it. It might look different, but we can live it in some way instead of just always keeping it a dream. I feel like the US has convinced us that there's these things we're not supposed to have them, that we're not supposed to have these dreams. And if you do, maybe it's at 65 or later, 72, right? Maybe then, but definitely not before. You're not supposed to live your dream life in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s. Who does that? I think that's just America working in us. It gets us to the point where we don't even take action to get the dream. I'm not the only person here who could be living her dream life. I think it's just I left and have taken some action, and I believe that it's possible. The realities of the US can make you think it's not possible. I understand that. The realities of the US can make you think this is just not possible to live whatever that dream is. Because money is funny, because people are people, it's just not possible. But moving has helped me understand that, and has helped me live it, right? So sure, I'm house sitting. My dream life, part of my dream life does involve house sitting. My dream life involves me not paying for a place to stay for all the time, right? I don't want to have to pay for everything. Not having to pay for everything is part of my dream life. It's part of my dream. Being able to give money is part of my dream. Yeah. So leaving has helped me with that. Okay. Let me look in here. More laughter. Hi, Angela. Angela was in the Temecula meetup. Angela is more laughter. Thank you. You're right. I do need to prioritize friendships, relationships in 2025. Okay. That's part of my life. My life is on life support. That part of my life is on life support. Yeah. So prioritize it. How do you do that? I guess it's different for everybody. It's not the same. I don't know that there's like a step by step thing that I can say. I don't know that. But I have friend dates on my calendar. One every Tuesday, noon. Is it noon? Noon Eastern time, right? Talk to someone. It says friend date. Talk to someone. Because if I don't, I won't, right? If I don't remind myself to do it, I won't do it. I have a lot of priorities in my life, that a lot of things that would be priorities, except I don't treat them like priorities. And the way to treat something like a priority is to like put it on the calendar, block out time for it, schedule it, tell yourself this is when I do that thing. And so that's the thing that I do. I do pretty well at it. And then I have a couple of different accountability group buddies, right? I'm in a couple of different accountability groups where we get together and be accountable for things. Yeah, I think if you don't know the people that you want to nurture these relationships with, get inside of a group like an Exodus Summit, do a thing that you're into and meet the women in that thing or meet the people in that place. And then reach out to somebody. Let's be friends. And then prioritize building that relationship. For me, it's more like face-to-face stuff over short bursts of time. I'm better at that than at the every day or every week messaging. But it's really nice to be like, hey, I'm in Bogota, Colombia for the month. Are you coming down? And they'd be like, yep. I'll be there. TJ says that's one of my goals in 2025, to nurture more friendships. It's hard with work and married life. It helps to have friends you can do activities with. That's right. Gardening, skating, house music, traveling. Those are great activities, TJ. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay, good. And then the fifth thing on my thing oh yeah, I already said that. I can live my dream life instead of dreaming of it. So those are 5 ways that my life is different since I left the US. How else is my life different? I don't participate in magic number living or putting things off for the future. I'm no longer car dependent. That's amazing. I eat better without cooking, especially in Asia. That's the thing I miss about being in Southeast Asia. I ate well and healthy and fresh food without cooking the food. Here in Latin America, I tend to eat a lot more American junk food than I did in Asia. But in Asia, especially, I ate better without cooking, which is the goal. I don't want to cook. I don't enjoy cooking. A way that how else is my life different? The whole world is mine. There are no places that I feel I don't belong. And also the world is smaller. Things don't seem so hard to access or inaccessible, right? We're going to Vietnam in February. right? And it's just because I was going to be in Las Vegas. And I was like, well, while I'm in Las Vegas, I might as well go to Hong Kong and Vietnam. They're not really all that close together, but the world has shrunk now that I've been around it, right? I've been to 6 of the 7 continents. I've been around the world. It does shrink. It has shrunk. And what is close is relative. Some things do seem a lot closer than they really are because the world is smaller. I said earlier that my oppressor is not in my face, but another thing about my life since I left America is my face is still cute. I left America and my face is still cute. I am getting older and age is showing up on my face, but I still look happy, peaceful, rested, joyful. I still have the look, the glow. Still cute. Still cute. How has my life changed since I left America? The song in my heart is happy. The song in my heart is a happy song and not a, ugh, here we go again, right? My life before leaving the United States, before taking that career break and leaving the country and then not really coming back, was dread or regret, or I think regret and dread is a good way to describe what my inner song sounded like. Like a little bit of Eeyore and a little bit of, who's a really regretful person? I don't know. Regret and Eeyore together. So the song in my heart is different. Now the song in my heart is like birds chirping and the frogs here in Puerto Rico, that coqui, right? I have a different song in my heart. My life is different since I left America because I'm not the weirdo, because I want to do as little as possible. I want to do as little as possible. I want ease. I want peace. I don't want to be striving and doing and reaching, and I don't want that for my life. And outside of the United States, that's pretty common. That's pretty normal. You're not the weirdo if you want those things. And outside of the United States, it now seems ridiculous to me to see people sacrifice their happiness and their ease and their peace for some cause or purpose that is not them, some external cause, some external purpose. It now seems ridiculous when at some point it seemed normal and commonplace to see people giving up their whole lives for some cause, some purpose. That is how my life is different since I left the United States. Okay. What questions do you have for me about how you leave? There is a peace out protocol. There are 8 steps to moving abroad. Whether your move is full-time or your move is part of the year, or your move is now, but I don't know for how long, and I don't know, right? It's temporary or indefinite. 8 steps. Where are you going? What does it cost? Where's the money coming from? What do you do about your people and your pets? Maybe it's parents or children or spouses, right? What do you do about your stuff, your home and all the stuff inside of it, and any other stuff you have to get organized or get together? How do you get healthcare? How do you get residency? And then how do you work on the mindset stuff, the fear and the worthiness and the giving yourself permission to even do this? That's the peace out protocol. Those are the steps to leaving the country. Inside of the Exodus Summit community, Exodus Summit Facebook group, we help women with that all the time. Women share their progress in that all the time. Exodus Summit 2024 was our online conference that happened in October, where we worked on, it was Move Abroad School. We taught Move Abroad School at Exodus Summit 2024. And you can still watch those replays at exodussummit.com, right? And then if you want coaching from me and Rashida Dow, the creators and founders of Exodus Summit, if you want coaching on that protocol from us, you can join us in the Exodus ASAP membership, which is exodusasap.com. Okay, let's talk about your getting out of the barrel. What questions do you have? Do you want to have any questions for me? I'm trying to get some links, but I'm just staring at my thing. I forgot for a second. I totally forgot what I was doing. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. I'm back. Join the next cohort of Exodus ASAP. Okay. I've linked to that. All right. Maybe I should look for some questions. Mosoon, do you still consider Europe as high on your list of places to take a sabbatical or career break? Or would you recommend Latin America more? For Europe, I still recommend Europe and Latin America and Asia and South America and Latin America and Africa and parts of Oceania. You can probably skip Australia. I don't know that there's a priority list of mine. I think there's a priority list of every person. Every person has a different interest. What places are you interested in being and catching the vibe from? There are some people who are very Italy. You're going to love spending a summer in Italy or a year in Italy. There are other people who are very Mexico, the beach in Mexico, or very Caribbean islands. I forgot to name the Caribbean in my list earlier. I do, there's nothing that makes me say, no, skip Europe. Even with the cost of living being higher in parts of Europe, even with white people, because as I said, they're different people. European white people are different people. Yeah. It's not, I don't think there's no one place for people. Maybe this quiz would help people who are but where? I would like to leave for a period of time, short or long, but where do I go? The quiz is, there's a which country should I move to quiz, and it's at exodussummit.com/quiz. It's a nice way to look at what am I into and what kind of matches up with that. I think Portugal is still an amazing place. We were there just in April. And I was like, yep, still cute. Still cute. I still love it here. Yeah, I'm still into it. And I think every time I do this, I unbutton my blouse, but you can't see it. It keeps unbuttoning accidentally. I think, I think I still want to spend a decent amount of time there. Yeah. I don't know if I answered your question. Okay. Yes, it is. Hi, Elise. It is. We agree. Yeah. I'm looking for questions. Yeah. So Hugh says, I'm not interested in the country the survey result gave me, the quiz result. That's fine. It's also helpful to look at the questions, right? The questions in the quiz are questions that guide you to your answer. So it's not necessarily the quiz said I should move to Mexico City, so I should move to Mexico City, or I should spend time in Mexico City. It's also about looking at the actual questions. What questions did this ask me? Those are good guiding questions to help you find a place where you are going to be so happy to be there. Black Cat Kyoto, hi. Are the Australian whites racist towards Black people? Not in my experience, but they're very racist towards their own Aboriginal people, the local people. And it just doesn't feel good. And it's not right. I didn't experience them being racist towards me. Even though Aboriginal people look like me, it's always obvious to people when they see me that I'm American. I'd never experienced individual racism towards me or any, but you do see the way that they treat Aboriginal people, and it doesn't feel good. And most Black people don't like it there. Most Black people, when they get there, they're like, I recognize this. Very familiar. When can I leave? But people seem to like New Zealand. If you want to do some outdoorsy, naturey things, I would love to go to New Zealand and rent a camper van and just camp around the lakes and stuff. Black people seem to really like New Zealand. And then of course, so I don't know where Oceania ends. And I think Fiji is in Oceania, which is why, listen, You know how much we loved Fiji. So Fiji, yes. Okay. There's some no's in Oceania and there's some yeses in Oceania. I think Fiji and the Pacific Islands and stuff, I think that counts under Oceania. It's hard. Islands are, they belong to themselves, but What are your thoughts on Estonia? I've heard good things about it, but not really from Black people. Same. Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania. People who travel full time, they usually pass through that region and they enjoy it. I'm not into the cold, so I don't know if I'll ever be there. Estonia has a nice, a visa process that makes digital nomads enjoy going there, but I don't know any Black people who visited. On the other hand, the Balkans down further south, Black people love them. Montenegro, Serbia, Croatia. Rashida and I just interviewed, I don't remember who it was, someone about Croatia. I can't even see her face right now. I'm sorry. Listen, it's hard. It's hard out here. Okay. We just interviewed a woman about Croatia on our YouTube, on the Exodus Summit YouTube channel. And she loved it. Spoiler alert, she loved it. She went to Croatia to heal. I remember that. I remember it. Then her name will come back to me. It's really hard. One day I need to sit down and figure out how many people I've interviewed. It's a lot. Carrie went to Croatia, was sick in the US from poisoning, mold poisoning, and went to Croatia and healed herself on up. I'm going to copy that. So the Balkans, yes, I do know about, and Black people love them. But up north, Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, right now I can't remember what that region is called. I don't know about. Carrie in Croatia. Watch this video. You can leave now and go watch Carrie's video on Croatia. Good cost of living. People like it. It's pretty. Parts of Croatia look like Italy and parts of Croatia look like any other European city. The beach parts look like Italy and the city parts look like also Italy. But decent cost of living and Black people like it there. And Albania, Croatia, Montenegro, Albania, Black people enjoy life there. Yeah. The Balkans, that area is called the Baltics. Wait, what's the difference between the Balkans and the Baltics? Maybe I'm using them wrong. Which is which? Balkans, Balkans. That's Croatia. Okay. And then Baltics is Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania. Thank you. Is that the Baltics? Albania? Yeah, Baltics. Okay. Baltics, cold. Balkans, not cold. That's why I know about one and not the other. Yeah, the Baltic states and Slovenia. Anasa says also Slovenia is very nice. I've heard that from many, many people. I judge places often by where I've met people from, and I've met people from Slovenia, and they've been nice people. So I agree that Slovenia is probably also a good choice. Slovenia is more towards Italy, but also I think it's Balkan. Okay, the Baltics is the north, the Balkans is the south. Okay. Yeah, okay. And Grand Empress, I dated a Croatian man. They are strong and handsome. Okay, some of y'all are into that. That said, not as generous as other men, and they're womanizers. Okay. All right. Lots of compliments for my hair. Thank you kindly. I like to put my hair in little mini twists for a few weeks at a time. I'm not done. I'm still twisting. If I do like this, you can see I still have puffs back here. I'm still twisting it, but I'm making progress. Okay. Progress over perfection. Do I think it will be harder to leave the United States? I don't know. I don't know. These people are so unpredictable to me. I don't know that the US, this new group of people who are about to be in charge again, I don't know that they're going to make it harder to leave, but I do think that other countries might make it harder to stay, to visit their countries. If the US becomes a Russian asset, If our president is a Russian asset, will our 180-day friends still give us 180 days to visit? I don't know. I don't know. Some things, I don't know. I do think if you're considering getting a residency somewhere because you want them to let you in, I think it's time. I think it's time to do that. But who knows what? So some of you are saying they're going to deport the Black people, but also the goal is to return to slavery, right? They want to make America great again by returning. So they need some Black people there to work the fields. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Things are so unpredictable. That's why it's nice to take things into your own hands and not have to know. One of the reasons I don't know is I don't really have to know. I don't live there. Now I need to live somewhere. I do need to find a place, like a place. I do need to live somewhere. But I don't have to really know what they're doing because I don't have to live there. And it can be the same for you, right? Get yourself residency somewhere. Go. Whether you pick a place or you bop around the world is yours and the world is small. The world is smaller than you think. So do what you can do to not have to worry about what them people are doing, right? The opposite of the Karen Hunter approach. Karen Hunter says move to North Dakota and Utah. I say leave the country. Go somewhere. Go anywhere where you don't have to be involved with what they're doing. Right? It's really nice to not have to be involved. When you're there, if you're in the United States, you have to know what's happening. You're going to have to keep up on everything. So it's nice to not have to do that. It feels really nice. Okay? That's my advice. Yeah, permanent underclass. Yeah, so listen, I don't know. I know nothing, okay? But my understanding of things is if they want to return to the past, they're going to need some Black people. They want Black people there to work the fields, right? Or whatever it is. They want Black people there. They just don't want Black people to have the same say. They don't want Black people to have the same status. They don't want Black people to have money. But they want Black people there. I think. That's what I think. Now, do I know? I don't know. Because I'm not going to spend a whole lot of my time thinking about what they want and what they do. That is the benefit of leaving the barrel. Rose, why do we always have to leave though? We left the White House, schools, environments, but I bet you there are ways to track technology and socially. I'm sorry, Rose. I thought I understood, but now I don't. Why do we always have to leave? You don't have to leave. There's freedom. You do have to leave to go to freedom. If you're in bondage and you want freedom, you have to leave the bondage to go to freedom. So that's why you have to leave to get to freedom. But I don't understand the other part. I bet there are ways to track. And it's not about how, we're not. I don't care if everyone, like I have a big YouTube channel. Big to me, it's big to me. It's not the big YouTube channel to YouTube, but it's big to me. Big YouTube channel. I don't think we need to hide where we're going. It's not like, they can track you. I don't care if they track me. Listen, I'm gonna still pay my taxes until I get fed up enough. Then I may have to hide where I am. If I decide that I'm not paying taxes, then I might hide. But right now, it's not about that. It's about leaving to go to a place where you can have the life you want. One thing that Karen Hunter said in that video is, if we can do these things, if we move to North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, we get a couple more Senate seats from each of those states, in 100 years, we could have, that was her point, in 100 years, we could have XYZ. And I'm like, girl, just move to Mexico. They already got it. Those things that you're fighting for in the United States, they already have them in Mexico, in Costa Rica. Just go somewhere else. Why sacrifice y'all's lives? Not my life. Sacrificing y'all's lives for 100 years to get something that they already have in these other places. They got health care. They got universal health care. Go to Costa Rica. Go to Panama. Go to the Caribbean. 100 years. Kiss my ass. 100, that's what she said. And if we do these things and we get these Senate seats now, then we get these in 100 years. Girl, if you don't go to Costa Rica, they have universal health care. Go to Panama. Medical school in Panama is like $600 a year. They have free education and low-cost education. I can't wait for Rashida to make a video on her channel about her most recent healthcare experience in Mexico. If y'all don't get out of that country and go someplace where they have the things that you're fighting for, you can fight for those things. You can keep fighting for them, or you can go someplace where they already have them. As a person who likes to do as little as possible, it seems obvious to me. The answer is obvious to me. I want to do as little as possible. Give me the easiest solution. Some people are very married to the hardest way. If it's not struggle, it's not worth it. No, some things are very easy. Go to the place, stop fighting for the things that you want and go to the place where they already have those things. And then get in community with people. You'll love it. You'll love it. Be in community with the people there. Live your life. Be happy. Be glad that your kids are there. The conversation that's so upsetting to some people about Luigi, back to Luigi. The conversation that's so upsetting to some people about Luigi is that he's being treated worse than a school shooter, right? School shooter, not a terrorist. Luigi kills a rich man, terrorist, right? Maybe you go to a place where your kids don't have to ever even think about a school shooting. Like we have a term, we know what a school shooter is. We have a term, like it's a word, it's a thing in our country, in that country. That doesn't exist anywhere else. Right? Black cat Kyoto. Yeah. So this is what we talked about this week. Rashida and I, we just talked about this. We're learning like whiteness has levels. There are levels to the whiteness. He's a little too spicy white to be white. Right? They looked at him and they were like, not all the way white. Luigi is not getting the same white privilege. Not white enough. We did a little cackling about that. Yeah, stop struggling and go to the place that has the things that you need. Some of you are spending a lot of time focusing on safety in the US when you can just go to a safe country. Some of you are spending a lot of time and money on healthcare, paying for healthcare in the US when you can just go to a place where healthcare is accessible. There are countries with universal healthcare. Like, girl, 100 years. Yeah, I'm convinced, even though his name is Luigi, I'm convinced that they look at him and they're like, that Arab? I'm convinced. Right? They're like, oh, no. He's not white enough. Yes, they said light skinned. Yes, they didn't say white. Yes. So if the idea of white supremacy is protection, right? The idea of it, I'm not saying white, right? The idea of white supremacy is protection of whiteness, right? Then they're going to protect whiteness at all costs. So not only in the argument for people in the idea is that nobody has freedom until everybody has freedom. Because just because you're safe today doesn't mean they won't chip away at your freedom until you no longer fit into their category, right? There's a category of whiteness that they're looking to protect. And they're going to pull people out of that group to hold on to protect what they really want to protect, the real whiteness that they really want to protect, right? They're going to pull people out. So it's not just fighting against white supremacy. It's not just our or white supremacist ideologies, right? It's not just a fight for non-white people. It's also for people who are considered white today, because they're going to come and pull that apart, pull it apart. Good grief. Yep. Yeah. So everybody, you're not safe, even if you think you're safe. So Hughes, my understanding, again, okay, my understanding, Social Security, the changes that he's proposing to Social Security will bankrupt the Social Security system for people in the future. It will mean that people in the future won't get Social Security. But I've never heard anyone say they expect people who are on Social Security now to be affected. I would say they've been telling, listen, I'm Gen X. They've been telling us, don't expect to get Social Security. Okay. So I've not lived my life as though I expect to get Social Security benefits. And I think that that's still the case. The little bit, okay, so I did listen to this, and they said that the idea of Social Security is taxed, and his plan is to no longer tax Social Security. And that means Social Security is going to end. The purpose of that is to end Social Security, right? That's going to end Social Security for new people. But the people who have Social Security today, as far as I know, I haven't heard them saying they expect to not have it anymore. It's just new people. No new Social Security. Okay, how are we doing? Do we have any other questions? Halisi, €2 prescriptions in Portugal. Okay. I got a health insurance quote for Colombia, not Costa Rica. I'll tell you about that another time. I got a health insurance quote for Colombia to cover everything, including like maternity stuff, which I don't need. I'm going to chop that policy down. But the full quote was $160 a month from Now Health. $160 a month from Now Health for everything covered, zero deductible, zero copay. Everything, anything I could want done in the world. $160 a month, zero deductible, zero copay. And that's without being on Colombia's system. That is just me having private insurance in Colombia. All right. It was $168 a month. And then the lady emailed me, the representative emailed. That was the quote. And the representative emailed me. And I was like, I need to compile a list of things that I do not need. I don't need maternity care. I don't need this or that. Let's see how low can we go? How low can I go to have zero deductible, zero copay, and be fully insured in Colombia? Let's find out. If you're worried about healthcare, Natasha, join the Exodus Summit community, exodussummit.com/community. Okay. And start. I think for most people, this thing is to start working on a way to make money that doesn't require you to be in the United States, right? For most of us, that's a truly remote job or something. For different people do it different ways, but a truly remote job, a job that lets you be anywhere in the world, is often the first step. Okay. Did we speak about how Puerto Rico is? No, but this is my third time coming to Puerto Rico. So I haven't done very much this time. And I didn't do very much the other times either. Okay. I do want to go to the mall tomorrow because I'm sure it'll be decorated and really pretty. And I like malls. Puerto Rico. Everybody speaks English? Food is good. Listen, I've been tearing up some mofongo. Okay, food is good. Everybody speaks English. I'm away from San Jose, so I'm in a more tropical area, as you may be able to tell. And people mind their business. They don't care about me, what I'm doing. I walk a dog at night in a neighborhood and it's safe. Uh, this is my third winter here in a row. But I don't know. I don't have a whole lot else to say. Puerto Rico, it's nice. Cost of living seems to be better than Delaware, even including food. Grocery store. Yeah, like they're all uh Enika says everybody speaks English. They're all from the Bronx. My friend Charmaine was right. Everybody here has lived in the United States. All these everybody here has lived in the US. Charmaine came here years ago and she was like, it's just a bunch of people from the Bronx. Everybody speaks English. I've had food delivered 2 or 3 times, and there's a gate that I keep forgetting to open to let the delivery person drive in. And every time they text me, I text them back in just English. In Costa Rica, I generally reply to people in Spanish, even if I have to go to an app and translate my words. But here, I just switched to English right away, and so do they, right? They're like, okay, hey, Stephanie. Everybody here speaks English. Yeah. Um, Big Auntie Energy Show. I'm in Puerto Rico and the malls are busy, but the holiday core isn't much different from the States. Yeah, I just like it. If you've been to Europe or Christmas, yeah, nothing tops Europe at Christmas time. Yeah, I just like Christmas decorations, and there's no decorations in the house. The last house I was in, she had 6 Christmas trees. Now we're here and she's got like 3 kings. She's got like a couple of these 3 kings things around the house, and that's it. So I just want to see some decorations. Part of me wants to take the dog to the mall, but I'm not sure. I guess I should ask. I'm not sure. It might be nice to get her a picture with Santa, but I'm not sure because it's going to be crowded. I don't know. Yeah, I just want to see the decorations. I like those. I like it. I like it. And I haven't seen, excuse me, there's no decorations here. So it'll be nice to get in the Christmas spirit. Go to the mall and then ride around the old town, the old city or whatever, old town, look at the decorations up there and then come home. I think that'll be tomorrow. I may put it off until Monday when most people are at work because I don't want to deal with too much crowds. But they gave me use of the car. My house sitting clients gave me use of the car. Is it expensive? I think the food price is close. It seems to be Delaware priced. I don't know. It's hard to gauge things. In Costa Rica, food is expensive. Groceries are expensive in Costa Rica. And this seems to be less, groceries seem to be less expensive than Costa Rica. And close to Delaware, less than Delaware. Yeah, the dog might get stressed out. She seems like a very good girl. Like she, but she's very smart, but I don't know if she'll like them all. It's going to be crowded. So I just thought about it would be a nice thing to do, but also I don't have to do that. I don't have to take her, get her picture taken with Santa. Yeah, so cost of living is really hard for me to gauge because everything is so expensive now, right? I bought dinner for 5 days, but breakfast for like 10 or 15 days. I spent $180. I bought salmon. I bought like groceries, salmon and stuff. Yeah. So, these there are dog places where dogs are everywhere. Puerto Rico is a dog place. Yeah, they take their dogs everywhere. I think they seem to. Um, and part of that might be because I spent so much time in Costa Rica. They take their dogs to the mall in Costa Rica. Like you are in the mall with your dog in Costa Rica. That's how you live. Okay. I don't know why your dog would be at home. If you're at the mall, take your dog to the mall, right? That's how they do it in Costa Rica. So maybe I'm assuming things, but I think I've been to the mall here. I've been to malls here because this is my 3rd time coming to Puerto Rico. Yeah, they walk through the mall with their dogs here. Cost of living is hard to measure when you're a house sitter and you don't like cost of living for me is usually like, what's the rent looking like? I don't know what rent looks like here. Gas looks cheap. I think gas is cheap. And I think food seemed regular. Food didn't seem expensive like Costa Rica, but it didn't seem like, oh, this is a bargain. Yeah, food is US prices. It seemed like Delaware priced, maybe a little slightly below Delaware priced, but not like come here and ball out. Okay. Hotel prices are super high right now because I think it's a holiday thing. Aw, the AVX girl in Medellin, they have a dog babysitting section at the large store to keep them indoors while you shop. That's so funny. There are places that are very, very dog friendly. And I think Colombia, Costa Rica, Mexico, it's a surprise to a lot of people how dog friendly those places are. Let's see, any other questions? Oh, I might get them. So, okay, let me look for the super chats. Oh, so I'm on a new thing and I don't know how to find the super chats is the problem. I'm on whatchamacall on Ecamm Live. They were right there in my face. Let me get on my phone and look for the super chats. Because here I don't know how to search through the chat. On Ecamm Live, I could just type in super and I would see the super chats. Maybe if I do, but on this, I don't know how to find the super chats. So that's the problem. Oh, it puts them in the star. Okay. So I'm sorry. Let me go back. I'm sorry. KK. Hi, KK. I hope you're still here. I'm sorry. I'm using Ecamm Live for only the third time on my YouTube channel, and I'd have to learn how to use it. I'm sorry. I'm used to on the other thing I used to use, the super chats were right there in the chat. I still would forget about them, but I'm old. Okay. Anyway, hi KK. I hope you're still here. You're an inspiration. Thank you for this. Thank you. Oh, good. Thank you. Where are you? Congratulations. And where did you end up? I'm glad to hear it. Thank you very much for the super sticker, the Dream Merchant. I appreciate that. Thank you. And committed to the journey. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Are there opportunities for single moms and job opportunities for teachers? So teachers have a skill set that a lot of employers are looking for. If you're looking for remote work, which I assume this is what this comment is about, if you're looking for remote work and you're a teacher or whoever, everybody looking for remote work, I would make Libria Jones my best friend. Everything that she makes, I would watch. Everything that she does, I would go to. She's doing something this weekend inside of her community. So I would go to her Instagram. No, well, her YouTube. And I would look. She just did a session. Let me see if she's got a video on her channel right now about her. I don't see anything on her channel right now. She's doing something this weekend. But for some, it's not on her channel. Let me look at her Instagram. Libria. Okay, she's doing something this weekend, but she hasn't posted about it on Instagram or her YouTube channel. There's something, I promise you, there's something happening this weekend inside of her community, but for some reason she's not shared it out. So I would go to Libria Jones' Instagram, get in her community, and go to whatever she's hosting or doing. She helps people get remote jobs. Okay. So if that's what you're talking, if that's what you mean, then yes, that's what I would do. If I needed to leave the United States and I didn't make money on the internet like I do, or I didn't do whatever, I would get a remote job and I would house sit. If you like animals, if you like cats or dogs, I would get a remote job and I would house sit, and that would be my pathway to leaving the country, trying out some places, and deciding where to go more long term. If that wasn't what you're asking me, ask it again without the super chat. Ask it again. Okay. You have to be, I don't connect dots. You have to spell everything out for me. Okay. I don't connect the dots. You got to tell me what you mean. Decenter man, hi. I'm about to visit San Miguel de Allende in Querétaro. Is San Miguel too filled with white people? No, no. There are a lot of white American people in San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. But they're going to stick to one or two neighborhoods. They're going to be in one place. You don't have to see them. You can be in neighborhoods without them. I think I was there. It's been a couple of years since the last time I was there. Okay. Anissa says you have 3 minutes to join Libria's community to hear today's announcement. Okay. Okay, y'all, you have 3 minutes to join her community to hear her announcement. So the community link, join the challenge, grab the guide. There's no link to the community on Instagram. Events, structure, support. Okay, so the quick commuting community. She doesn't have a link to it on Instagram or on her YouTube channel. I find that confusing. Okay, here's the quick commuting community. Go over there right now. Okay, go if you need a remote job, go to the quick commuting community right now. Had to be in by 10 a.m. They're saying. We'll see. Okay, but she's got a lot. Oh, Facebook group, not that community. In her email. Okay, this may be a next time thing and not a this time thing, but you want to get into her quick commuting community. Okay, you want to take in everything that she puts out until you have a remote job. Okay, so Aileen says that's the Facebook group, not the quick commuting community. Okay, all right. Next time, you want to use her resources to get a remote job. She's got resources get in the quick commuting community. The resources are there to get your remote job. And then I would use house sitting as a way to see some places, try some places out and see what's what. Okay. And again, if you were asking me something different, say it again. Say it a different way. Okay. Inside of the exit. Okay. And it's already locked. Okay. Next time. There'll be another. Okay. Next time. But in the meantime, use her resources. She's got a YouTube channel, an Instagram. She's got resources out there. Use them already. Okay. Use them. Okay. Thank you. All right. So I don't know how to search on StreamYard for questions, which is hard because on whatchamacallit, I could just type in Q and I could find your questions. I'm at the part where y'all are talking about, I've scrolled through the chat and I see y'all now talking about Luigi. Y'all are in here acting up. I see your comments now. I was really behind in the chat and I didn't realize it. Okay. Can we take 2 years to save and then leave? You can do whatever you want. Yes, that is a way. That is a method. If you don't feel like you have it, if you don't feel like you have 2 years and this needs to happen sooner, you can work on accelerating that, right? All the resources that we put out, the Exodus Summit community puts out, use our resources. Sometimes you find that things can work faster than you know. Sometimes you don't even know what a place would cost. You think you need X number of dollars as a cushion to get there. You don't even know what it's going to cost. Sometimes you think the cost of living is going to be higher there than it really is. So I would get inside of the Exodus Summit community, exodussummit.com/community. Even though you're working your plan, things can get sped up with coaching, with support, with accountability partners. So start working on your plan, get in community with the Exodus Summit community. The Exodus ASAP membership, when you're ready to start answering those 8 questions, that's another amazing resource. ExodusASAP.com is a resource that will help you work on the plan and speed up the plan. That's why it's called ASAP. Enter. Christine, would you do the Ritz-Carlton yacht again? Absolutely. 1,000,000%. Absolutely. I don't know how I'm going to take any other kind of cruise. Absolutely. The Ritz-Carlton yacht experience was like service and luxury that I've not experienced before. Or service, maybe I've experienced that level of like, let's say a service that I've not experienced before and won't experience again until I do it again. Absolutely. You know, in my future life, I want a yacht. So it was really nice to play yacht for a while. But yeah, 100%. Oh, Rhythm and Wander. I made it to Puerto Vallarta yesterday, 180 days. Congratulations. Wonderful, wonderful. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you reach out to the Exodus Summit women inside of Puerto Vallarta and let them know you're there. I know they be getting together. I know they get together. Oh, that's good. 2 years is also a fast amount of time, but for some people, it can be done a lot faster. If you have a way to make money, to keep making money, even if you leave the United States, your timeline can be a whole lot faster. If you have a remote job or you get a remote job, you don't need no 2 years unless you want to wait 2 years. Is my discount code available to trusted house sitters? It's now 25%. So there was a 40% discount, and then there was a 30% discount. Now there's a 25% discount. If you get my new house sitter toolkit, hi TJ, if you get my new house sitter toolkit, I email you the discount code. So this discount code, I didn't, so the earlier discount code, they emailed me specifically and were like, do not put this on the internet. Don't put it on YouTube. You can put it in a closed Facebook group. So I think I put it in the Exodus Summit Facebook group. You can put it in a closed Facebook group. You can email it to people, but don't put it on Facebook. Don't put it on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, whatever. And I messed up. So now I'm doing things the right way. If you get my new house sitter toolkit, I email you the 25% discount code to Trusted House Sitters membership. The toolkit is houseit.vicarious.com/toolkit. I'm going to link to that. I know it's a really, really long link. But when you get my new house sitter toolkit, you will get the discount code to Trusted House Sitters. I don't have it linked here. I'm gonna have to type it out. Good luck to me. Oh yeah, no, I have it right here. Download the toolkit. Copy, paste. Okay, get my new house sitter toolkit, houseit.vicarious.com/toolkit. And then you'll get, then I email you right away the 25% discount link to Trusted House Sitters. Trusted House Sitters is the platform that I use to book house sits like this one in Puerto Rico that I'm not going to show you a lot of, but it's the platform that I use to book house sits. House sitting gets me free accommodation. You're not paid to house sit through Trusted House Sitters. You have to get your own house sits if you want to get paid. But if you're using Trusted House Sitters, you get free accommodation around the world, anywhere you can book a house sit. This one happened to be 3 weeks long. I like to do longer house sits. So 3 weeks in Puerto Rico in a nice little tropical environment. I keep saying jungle, but it's more like tropical. With the birds and the cookie and the frogs singing me to sleep at night. It's a wonderful place. And I'm not paying to stay here. Paid for my food. I paid to get here. But I'm not paying for this house, and it's a beautiful house. Yeah. Use the service, the luxury bucket list. She had a membership and didn't get house sits. Get your money's worth. Don't give these people free money. Okay. That's not what this is about. Don't give trusted house. They don't need your free money. Okay. Don't give trusted house sitters free money. Pay for your membership and use your membership. Inside of the new house sitter toolkit, I send you the actual letter that I use to get booked. It's my letter, right? If we applied for the same house sit and you didn't change anything in the letter, they'd be like, this is the exact same letter. That's literally my letter that I use to get booked to house sit. Okay. Use that letter inside of my new house sitter toolkit with your membership. Set alerts so that if you want to house sit in a particular place at a particular time, set alerts and then apply for house sits. And don't stop applying until you have all the house sits you want. Utilize this. It's for you, right? Use it. Whether you're house sitting on vacations and when you're traveling, or you're house sitting in your own city because you don't want to pay your rent, or you're sick of the people at your house. You might be in the same city, but you're sick of those people and you want to go leave them home and you go house sit, or you're house sitting to see the world, right? You have a remote job or no job, you're retired, you're on sabbatical, you're in between, you don't know for sure. Let house sitting work for you. A free place to stay in exchange for taking care of people's pets and homes while they're away. If you're a friend to animals, you should already be house sitting. If you're a friend to cats or dogs, you should already be house sitting. Get your money's worth. I sat this summer to get years worth of membership value. Pinky. Yeah. Get your money's worth. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Grand Impress. I used the 30% discount code, got an invitation to house sit the very next day. Okay, girl. Congratulations. Yeah. You can pay for a place to stay if you want to. This is how I go on the Ritz-Carlton cruise, right? I get free places to stay. And then when I do something, I can put a whole bunch of money into it because I spent months not paying for a place to stay. Yes. Moments of essence. I'm a house sitter because of you, now in Philly, so I can be close to family over the holidays. It's perfect. Exclamation point. That's wonderful. Congratulations. Well done. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad, right? Use house sitting for you. Use house sitting for you. Yes, Christine, but I don't want to talk about books right now. We can't. I'm sorry. We can't talk about books right now. I owe too many people the previous book for me to start talking about a new book. Okay. It's coming. It's coming. Okay. It's going to surprise you. I'm going to pop it up on you. It's coming very soon. Nikki Natasha, I did Ritz-Carlton for Thanksgiving dinner before. It was awesome. Yeah. So they did such good service. Like they knew our names. Now, it was like 8 Black people on the whole boat. Okay. But they knew our names. They gave us such good service and attention and like friendly service, not just like I'm getting paid to be nice to you, but like friendly service. At one point, there was a couple that we didn't want to sit next to anymore. And Rashida was like, we're not sitting next to them at dinner anymore. And don't you know, we didn't sit, they never they pay attention to detail. That amount of service is something I've not experienced before. Maybe the luxury. I don't know how to measure luxury. Comfortable sheets and towels and stuff. Good food. Maybe I've had that level of luxury before. I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. But I've never had that level of service and attention where they knew everything and you never had to, everything was taken care of and everything was done and everything was set up. It was an amazing experience, and we did it with our moms and Rashida's godmother. So that made it super triple amazing because we got to do it with they got to experience that too. We got to see them experience it and enjoy it. And it was awesome. It was awesome. All right. Oh, okay. I wanted to end this at the 2-hour point. I made it a little bit longer, but I meant to not keep you here longer than 2 hours. Is this the same as house sitting school? So house sitter school is my digital product to help you get your first house sit. So if you already have a membership to Trusted House Sitters and you're still not getting booked to house sit, House Sitter School will help you get booked. Okay. Not everyone who gets a Trusted House Sitters membership needs to go through House Sitter School. If you want a little extra support in getting booked, House Sitter School is there for you. Okay. But it's not a requirement. It's not mandatory. House Sitter School is about booking your first house sit. But if you get your membership and people start reaching out to you, you don't need it. If you get your membership and you know how to pitch yourself and get booked to house sit, you don't need House Sitter School. But if you don't know how to get booked or you want some extra support on getting booked, that's what House Sitter School is for. Trusted House Sitters membership and then House Sitter School. Okay. If you're in the Exodus ASAP membership, House Sitter School is already included in the membership. Exodus ASAP membership includes House Sitter School so that you can get booked. Okay. No, to go live on YouTube from the YouTube app, I think you need 100 subscribers, but you can use a third party like StreamYard right away. If you want to go live on YouTube, use StreamYard and you can go live. Unless something changed very recently. How much luggage do I take with me? It's changed over time. So last time I left home in October, I was like, I think I'll see y'all around April. Okay, so that's 6 months. I have a medium-sized carry-on bag. I have a very small carry-on bag. No, I have a medium-sized check bag, not the largest, you know how they come small, medium, large. I have a medium-sized check bag. And then I have a pretty small check bag. It's just for the extra stuff that didn't fit in that one. And then I have a regular size carry-on and a little backpack that includes my purse. But I'm around for 6 months at a time. I like some stuff with me. I have probably 6 notebooks and 3 actual hardback books. I bring this and this with me, right? Like I have stuff with me that is not necessary, but that I want. For a while, I traveled with my YouTube plaque, right? My 100,000 subscriber plaque. I used to bring that with me. I'm not into packing light if it stresses you out. If you're stressed out about what you can't bring with you, just bring it with you and pay for it. Okay. If you don't want to pay for it, then you're going to have to figure out, you're going to have to do some negotiations. One thing I don't do is I don't pack a whole lot of clothes, even though I have those 4 bags I just told you about. I don't have a whole lot of clothes, which is why you see me in the same stuff over and over and over and over. I don't have a whole lot of clothes. I just have a whole lot of stuff. I just have stuff that comes with me. Yeah, the Ritz-Carlton cruise, it was amazing. And they've got a second yacht, and they're on their way to, I think the 3rd is coming up. It was amazing. Amazing. I got this at VidCon. Rashida and I went to the video conference, the VidCon conference. It's all scraped up because I put it in the dishwasher over and over. I don't think you're supposed to put these in the dishwasher. Mine's all scraped up. But they gave these to us at VidCon. Thank you. They said they're not Stanley, right? They were like, get your Stanley cup. Rashida was like, that's not a Stanley cup. Yes. Hi, grab bag crafting. You can be your full self with friends. That's right. It's really wonderful to have those relationships. All right. How did we do? Was it hard being a house sitter as an introvert? No, because I'm in the house. No, I'm in the house about me and a dog. Very introvert friendly. Let me think. What am I missing about this question? Yeah, no, you're in the house with a dog or a cat or some cats or some dogs or some fish or some rabbits or some chickens, or somebody the other day in the challenge said she house sat for a gerbil. No, I'm in the house. Very introvert friendly. No, yeah, I don't get, maybe I'm missing the question, but no, it's like sit in the house. House sitting for me is literally sitting in the house. For some people, house sitting is go to a town, take care of the pets, but also see the city, see the town, experience things. I'm staying, I'm in the house. Okay. I'm in the house. But you can do what you want. All right. A fish house sit would be my idea of heaven. Yeah, they're on there. If you scroll around on Trusted House Sitters, the problem is that those kinds of house sits are more in demand. So you have to have your profile done and you have to have your alerts set, right? You need house sits to come to your phone. The house sits in particular that you're interested in, you need them to come to your phone. You can't wait until, I'm going to look on the Trusted House Sitters app every day. Because those house sits go in minutes. Fish, one cat, no pets at all, they go in minutes. So set alerts, have your profile ready, apply quickly, use the letter, copy my letter, make it your own, and then put that someplace where you can easily copy and paste it when you need to. Is global entry worth it? So Christine, fun fact about me, I am cheap about certain things and extravagant about certain things. I am too cheap to pay for global entry. And I don't want to go through an interview. I don't have global entry. I don't fly too much inside of the United States, for one. I don't fly too much in the US. I fly a lot out of the US. I don't fly very often from one place in the US to another for global entry to be worthwhile for me. Or I don't enter, you know what I'm saying? I don't enter in the US enough for global entry to be super worthwhile, in my opinion, for me to take my time to go through an interview. I'll do it one day when I feel bored, okay? Because in a lot of places that you enter the US, they have this thing called mobile passport, and the line is like 3 people ahead of you instead of 3,000 people. When I flew into Charlotte, it was 3,000 people waiting to enter a country. I went to the mobile passport kiosk and there was one person ahead of me. So I don't pay for global entry. I'm cheap about that kind of stuff, right? I'll pay for a Ritz-Carlton cruise, but I'm not paying for global entry. Okay, that's me. That's my life. I think it's probably worth it, but I don't fly enough to make it worth it. To me, I don't fly enough for it to be worth it. I stay gone for months at a time. If I came in and out, sure, I would probably take the time to get it. But that mobile passport, if you don't have global entry, you should be using mobile passport. If you don't have global entry, this is a thing that I did that Elizabeth Gilbert is going to remember me for. When we came in that airport, we flew in that airport. She was like, this is my first time with global entry. I had to go do something. And I helped direct her to the right place. She was using global entry the first time. I was using mobile passport the first time. I was done before her. Mobile passport is free. So some airports, mobile passport is an app. When you get on your phone, you put in mobile passport. Most places they have a big sign and a barcode, and you can, but you can already have the app on your phone. It's an app where you take your own picture, you enter your passport info, and you go to a very different line. So when you get to the airport to enter the US, there's the mobile global entry. There's usually a regular American people enter here entry. And then there's a mobile passport entry part, right? It's usually longer than global entry, but shorter than everybody else. So one more time, I'm not paid for global entry. I don't have any intention of doing that interview. I don't have any intention of sitting down and doing that until mobile passport gets too busy. Once everybody knows about mobile passport, then it might be worth it to go the global entry route. I know, but I'm not doing it. Michelle says it's only one time. I'm not doing it. That's the fun thing about me. I am cheap about some things. I am very cheap about this. To me, I'm like, I would rather go in this line with mobile passport than pay to go in the mobile entry, right? Global entry. I'm getting them mixed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm cheap. I'm going to pay thousands and thousands of dollars this year to stay in nice Airbnbs. but I'm not going to pay $200 for global entry. That's me. Okay. Now, Elizabeth Gilbert, when she did her interview we were flying from Fiji to San Francisco. We flew into San Francisco. She went up to that kiosk. Now, I was done before her, but she did her interview for global entry. So I understand that it's a one-time thing. Oh, I'm supposed to be putting this one. I understand it's a one-time thing. Okay. I'm just telling you, I'm not doing it. Okay. I'm not paying for global entry until mobile passport is overcrowded. Until mobile passport doesn't put me ahead of people, I'm not doing it. Okay. That money is going to Wendy's chicken sandwiches. That's $200 of Wendy's chicken sandwiches and Nutella Frosties. I'm not doing it. How many Wendy's Frosties is that? I just paid $4.99 for a Frosty. 200 divided by $4.99. 40 Frosties? No. 40 Frosties. No. When you fly business class, okay, they often, most airlines move you to a different line for screening when you're exiting as well, right? So flying business class means I don't have to go through the same security line to get out. So it's like the in-between phase of TSA PreCheck as well, right? So it's not TSA PreCheck, but it's not general population. Flying out of Costa Rica, they put you in the TSA PreCheck line when you're flying business class. Some places have a middle line, right? So I'm fine with the middle way when it's free. I'll pay extra when the free thing no longer works. So when I fly business class, they no longer say, when I fly business class, I hardly ever go to the regular security screening line. Business class, there's usually a premier line. I'll walk for an extra minute, 2 minutes to get to the premier screening line. I want to go to that. It's always faster. Yeah. I am cheap. Listen, okay? That's the fun thing about I am very cheap about things. There are things that I will not spend money on. I'm a little bit Connie Perry and a little bit Joe Perry, and the Joe Perry jumps out at the strangest times. My dad will a la carte anything. I don't care what it is. He's like, I'm not paying for that whole thing. Break this down into pieces. I'll pay for this and this, but not that. That cheap will jump out of me in the strangest times. If the free thing works for me, I'll keep using the free thing until it doesn't work for me anymore. So I go back. But there will be a time. I'll assume that there'll be a time when I'll pay for it. When once I finish telling y'all about mobile passport and everybody knows, when I be in those lines, where did I just fly into last time? Was it Dallas? I was in the mobile passport line, and I'm walking past all these people in general population, and it's just a free app. The Black people, there was a Black man and woman, and I was like, get mobile passport. I'm pointing at mobile passport. Get out of that line. Get in this line. By the time you walk through this maze, you could have been, right? Once I finish being an evangelist for mobile passport and everyone has it, then it will no longer be worth it. And then I'll pay for the thing. Then I'll pay for the stuff. Okay. But that cheap, it jumps out at the strangest. It's really funny. I see it, right? Connie Perry be like, it's only money. Put it on my tab. Joe Perry be like, I'm not paying for that. One time my dad was like, my mom said, Steffi needs $15 for school pictures. And my dad said she could get her school pictures every other year. That's me. She can get her school pictures next year. My mom was like, that don't make no sense. Give that girl $15. Everyone thinks I just spend, but my husband actually knows I'm really cheap. Yeah, like, it's funny. But the things that I want to spend money on, I spend money on, right? Don't worry about it. It's life. It's just money. It's just money. Okay. He's like, she can get her school pictures every other year. Meanwhile, I know he had a brand new car. I know he had a brand new car. Okay, mobile passport, it's an app. Anytime you fly into the US, look for the big sign. They always have a separate sign. They have a separate space. It's not the mobile passport. It's not the global entry space. There's a separate mobile passport space. Okay? Yeah. All right. Okay. Listen, now I really got to go. The dog is going to be so sick of me. It started raining, but I think the rain stopped. So she's going to want to go out to potty in just a minute. Okay. Nice to see you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I'm really happy about the way that my life is unfolding. A good portion of that is because of you and this community. I feel good, and a lot of that is because of you and this community. So thank you for that. Giving that $25,000 to another Black woman for her sabbatical is amazing. Thank you for that. In a better version, in a better timeline, in another timeline, I am more communicative about the Vicarian Sabbatical Fund, and I do a better job of sharing and promoting, and we raise more and do more and give to more women. But even at the pace that it's at right now, I'm very proud of it, and I'm very grateful and thankful to you. So thank you very much. Yeah, life is good. I hope life is good for you. If it's not, or even if it is, I hope you're taking some step to fix that. Because the women, the people who are experiencing good are not any more deserving than you. You deserve all of it. All of it. So get to it. Even if you need help, if you need support, go to the Exodus Summit Facebook group, get in community with us, and keep making progress. Okay? Keep making progress. Thank you, friends. Thank you for hanging out with me today and letting me be myself. We were a little all over the place, but we're also very focused. So thank you for that. Welcome to the new women. Welcome to the new people. Hello, friends. Hello to the OGs. Hello to everybody in between. See you guys again very soon. Merry Christmas. Can you believe that? December 21st, huh? Okay. Merry Christmas. Next time I see you, it'll be after Christmas. You have gotten your gifts from Santa. Happy day. Happy holidays. Bye, guys.